Hi, BJ Posnecki with Inspect and Check. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to replace a circuit breaker in your electrical panel. The safest way to do this project is to turn the main circuit breaker off. But before you do that, because you're going to lose power to the whole house, you're going to want to grab a flashlight. That would be the safest thing to do because it's going to kill all the power when we pull this electrical panel off. You're going to see in this bus bar, all the circuit breakers are connected to it, and there's a lot of power going there where if you touch something, you could get hurt. So please, from this point on in this video, please exercise extreme caution. We're going to start with taking the electrical panel off at these 4, or you may have 6 screws. This area here is where it's hot if we have the main circuit breaker on. Now, even if we turn the main circuit breaker off, the 2 hot conductors coming in feeding this breaker are still hot. So we want to exercise caution even if we turn this main breaker off around this area. If you're going to attempt to do this with the power on like I am, because we're filming and we need the light, I'm going to very carefully turn the circuit breaker off. I'm going to give it a good push away from the bus bar and then pull the circuit breaker towards me. Once I have the circuit breaker in my hand like this, it is no longer hot. It's in here, the bus bar, that's hot. So I'm okay touching everything right here because there's no live power. Unloosen the screw here to remove the wire. The wire just comes out like so. Grab our new circuit breaker. Put the wire back inside here where the lug is. Tighten down our screw. And when you tighten it down, give it a really good, we don't want any arcing or anything loose. So really crank this screw down and then give the wire a good pull. We want to make sure that this thing is really making a good solid contact. When putting the circuit breaker back, we'll go ahead and get our wires inside here. We're going to start with putting, most of the circuit breakers are usually the same. There may be a little variance between them, but for the most part, they all have this hook here that will catch into the slide bar here. It will grab, we'll put it in on an angle, get it to catch. Okay, you may have to wiggle it around a little bit, but now I can feel that those hooks are connected to this bar here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give it a good push in. Now this circuit breaker is hot, and we'll go ahead and turn it back on. Before we put the panel back on, just want to kind of come through here and make sure that our wires are tucked in past or behind the front edge here, so that when we put the cover on, we're not pinching any wires. When we're putting the panel back on, I just set it in place, get my screw holes lined up, and then put all 4 screws in and get them started, and then tighten it down so that this way the panel sits flush. Once you're done tightening down all the screws, open the door and just make sure that you didn't accidentally turn off any circuit breakers when you were putting the panel back on. That happens a lot where sometimes if it's a tight area and you have to kind of shift the cover to get it on, you could accidentally turn off breakers. So just come back through here, double check that they're all on. Changing out a circuit breaker is a pretty easy task to do. The main thing I can't stress enough, guys, is if you decide to do it with the power on, please be very careful. There's a lot of juice running down that bus bar where the circuit breakers are. So watch the fingers. If you don't feel comfortable at any point in time after watching this video and attempting this, please hire a local electrician. If you did find this video helpful, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.